We have seen three different ways in which we can negotiate. This is the fourth one in this series. This is all about asking. How we can negotiate by asking few things. What all you can ask. On the negotiation table, there are many things you can do. Each of the scenarios could be different. However, asking questions from the other person or the party about their situation, or asking certain things that you want to know a little bit more about to negotiate better, asking really open-ended questions so that you gather more information, and information can lead you to come up with solutions which are in your favor or negotiate better. So asking such questions and go prepared with those kind of point of views which leads to better negotiation can help a lot. So asking intelligent questions based on the situation, the context, and to know more details can lead you to getting towards a particular point of view which can help you in the negotiation. That's number one. And the second thing we can do also is asking for advice. In this situation, in this particular situation, what would you do, or what would you want me to do, or such kind of advice where you have seen such similar things. If you ask the other person about the advice, not necessarily it may work every time, it might backfire also in certain cases, but sometimes asking for the advice also makes the other person think about really what is the situation, what is the a fair deal between the two parties, and also it might give information which can be conducive to your negotiation goal or a target. So asking for advice where possible in a very politely and genuine way can actually help in a better cooperative deal, because at the end of the day it has to be a cooperative and win-win style for both, and asking for advice helps in many ways towards that cooperation. And the third thing, which is a bit difficult but always necessary, is that you asking for a better deal. So I know a person who would ask for ridiculous seeming like a deal which is far lower price for certain things. For example, if you're buying something and the person quotes unit of 300, he would ask for say 150. It's almost half the price. It doesn't make sense in many cases, and you will say, what are you even asking about, right? However, the person knows that the moment you ask for one particular price, it becomes the anchor, and you move up from that 150 to say 160, 170, 180, whatever, and finally probably you settle at 200 max. But if you start itself at 250 and the seller is selling it for 300, then there is very less room for negotiating further. So asking for a better deal, even though it may look like many times it may look like it is a bit not something which we can go for, I cannot really ask for it, and it looks odd, and many such inhibitions prevent us for asking. But only by asking and putting forward your point of view and ask, that's when it becomes clear to the other party. And many times you should be ready to walk away from that particular negotiation deal as well, because it may not work all the time. But always think of the situation and keep in mind that you should not hesitate to ask for maybe less cost, a better salary, or better offer. All of that you should be ready to go ahead and ask. Without asking, nothing happens. It might look odd many times, but depending on the culture you are in, it may look a little bit odd to ask for certain things like that, but it is very essential. And the final one is asking for help. Now, I know one person who would discuss a lot about these negotiation things and everything. Let's say it's a very difficult situation. None of the parties agree. Both parties stick to their own point of view, and finally also it doesn't go anywhere. And before closing the meeting, he would finally say, just help me out this time. Maybe we will see next time. Please, it's very helpful. It's very helpful, and it's very much needed. Simply by asking for help, many times people are ready to compromise on certain things. I'm not saying that it has to be non-genuine, but genuinely only. If you are really asking for help, then people are not that bad enough to decline that particular ask. So Asking for help is also one of the best ways to close the negotiation, which sometimes go unnoticed, but this is very helpful in many occasions. That's what I've seen. So asking open-ended questions, asking for advice from the other party at some occasions, asking for much better deal, and asking for help, all these things definitely help in some ways to improve your negotiation skills, and we have to apply in practice to see what works and what doesn't work in that situation. So keeping this in mind might help you in your negotiation. Thank you. We have seen